I gotta type what this is. I have a description.
Okay, not a problem. Because I am waiting at your beck and call to read poetry. Hello, I am going live now that we've been reading for a while back and forth for the Poetry Bomb in 2018 in Austin, Texas. We are at Hope Gallery, the graffiti wall, which has been around for I don't know how many years. I know from the guys who just left, it's been here for probably 2 decades or something. It's a space where people can put up their artwork, and somebody has just bought this land, and so next year, by the time the Poetry Bomb comes around next year, it won't be around. So I wanted to be here for it, and so I'm sharing with you live and on film a few poems from the book, chapter 38. It is of performance art shows that are in Chicago throughout 2008. This one is, I'm going to read you something from the show Changing Gears in Chicago. This is prose called Type A Person. I was in my friend's car and she was driving down the streets of Chicago, and she was letting people who were getting in the right lane at an intersection, which was actually supposed to be something that was used for turning when they're supposed to be turning, but they were actually trying to go forward to cut people off at a long line of traffic cars at the light. Well, as I said, she was letting these people in front of her, and she's stopping at 4-way intersections and waving that cars go in front of her. While she was doing that, she was also going under the speed limit, and I'm thinking, my God, she's under 30 years old and she's driving like she's twice her age. I don't want to tell her to get going because, damn it, I don't want to die in this car. I've got a lot of living to do. I've never jumped out of an airplane or made $1 million or been in a lustful affair with a high-ranking political candidate. And if I am going to go out, I surely don't want to die of boredom while someone else is staying in the most congested lane of traffic, while they could just as easily go into the next lane over and cut everyone off in front of them like I would most certainly do. And then it occurred to me, and of course it filled me with a complete and utter sense of elation, because I love being pigeonholed into these stereotypical psychological categories. I really am a type A person. There's an intersection near my house where we go from one direction. You can either go straight or turn right, and from the other streets they merge into this one lane, both turning right, and in the middle there is this no turn on red sign. And usually I'm at this road and I'm in the street that has always ends up being going straight, and that leftmost street, the streets where people on my right are merging into the street, and I always catch the red light on the street. It's like the traffic gods are displeased with my constant efforts to circumvent their wrath, so I'm always catching this red light at this street. So I've learned a new trick. I turn right on the first street on my right, but instead of doing a U-turn, I take a left and I go to the next block so I can catch the second street, so I can turn right into the street that I was originally on and all of the other streets, and I would get ahead of everyone else and I could beat them all, because I could beat those slow bastards for the next intersection. I mean, I'm the one that's yelling and banging the steering wheel of my car when people are in the road are idiots. Yes, I'm that person who races so that I can slam on my brakes at the next intersection only 100 feet away. And yes, I'm only driving a Saturn SL1, a Saturn with as much horsepower as a 1982 Ford Mustang, but damn it, I'm not going to go down without a fight. I will be out there cutting everyone off, weaving in and out of traffic. I will be the one getting there before you. Trust me, I will. And even when I'm tuning the radio while driving, because you see I do this while I'm putting on my makeup, and I can take a time for taking notes for work, and I can check over my schedule. And if I was a Hindu god Vishnu, I would then have 10 arms, and I could use a cell phone, and I could send out my faxes and eat dinner and write a novel while I was at it. But as I said, while I'm driving, I'm also turning the radio wheel while I'm driving, and I would find the first second and a half of a station, and I'd let it play before I'd be so disgusted and have to change that down to the next pre-programmed station just to be instantaneously disgusted another 6 times, and then I have to find a tape to play because I don't even have a CD player in my car, because I'd have to listen to all these, because I don't want to listen to all these stupid corporate pieces of shit telling me what I should be playing over their stupid radio over and over again so they can keep me mindlessly tuned in. Well, not me. Thank you very much. I don't have the patience for that. So, needless to say, I've discovered that this is a problem of mine. I wish there was something I could do, some sort of therapy group for this, but I'm sure I'd be going to my weekly Type A anonymous meetings, but then we'd probably all be pushing each other to get through the doorway first, 30 seconds before the meeting actually started, so we could be saying, "Get out of my way, asshole. You should have thought of this before you came here, thought about being late before you tried to cut me off." And then the meetings would end up where I'd be filled with people yelling, "Hey, jerk, I think I was the one doing the talking. What, do you think you're a god or something? Some sort of respect." God, and I know this is a problem of mine. I know this Type A-ness actually transcends everything in my life. When I get on the elevator in the morning, I try to get to my office on the 18th floor. I try to make those doors close as quickly as possible so that no one can come in and get in that elevator with me, because you know I really hate actually dealing with other people, and I surely don't want to be in a cramped, confined space with a bunch of strangers. But when the people do get on the same elevator as me, they invariably press buttons for floors 15, 16, and 17, and I start pursing my lips, stopping myself from saying, "Oh, you people couldn't stand to walk a flight of stairs. You just had to press all of these buttons and make me stop from getting on my goddamn floor at a reasonable amount of time?" Even walking on the sidewalk in the city, I get stuck behind someone that's a foot shorter, at least, than me, and probably a full 50 pounds heavier. Someone who labors while they walk very slowly. Someone who almost sways rhythmically when they walk, like a metronome, or like a person standing at the edge of a dance floor, rocking back and forth, all too afraid to actually ask someone to dance, or all too afraid to get out on the floor and make a fool of themselves in front of the cool people who have figured out what the rhythm really is. I'm walking behind this person, almost tripping over myself, because this walking pace just is unnaturally slow. So to pass the time, until there's an opening, I would try to actually mimic what they're doing to try to pass the time, swaying with them back and forth more for my own entertainment than anything else. Yes, more than a human being, I'm a human doing, and I hate having to depend on the schedule of others in order to get ahead of them all. Yes, I'm the person in line with the grocery store with 3 items, shifting my weight from foot to foot, frantically scanning the other lines. The person who wants to ask the person in front of him, "Excuse me, can I please cut in front of you? I only have 3 items and you have 2 full grocery carts full of crap like Cheetos, Pepsi, fish sticks, Haagen-Dazs, cookie dough, ice cream." Ugh. Yes, I'm that person who has 4 different sets of plans for any given evening, because any one event might get boring, and I could just pick up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be meeting someone now," instead of having to tell them that they're too boring, and I just have to deal with whomever I can just to try to relax. Because, you see, I'm the one who coasts toward an intersection when I know that the timed material for the patterns for the traffic lights, so I can just slow down and manage to get to this intersection without actually having to come to a complete stop, so that when the light does change, I can accelerate faster than everyone else, pass everyone by, and then have the open road to myself, wide open in front of me. I'm already guessing that at my funeral, when the long procession of cars is going down the cemetery, I'll open up that casket and be whispering to the driver of the hearse, "Psst, psst, hey, Why don't you say we just floor it and blow everyone off in line? We could probably grab a beer at the corner bar and still be able to beat everyone to the gravesite. Because, as I said, I'm a type A person. I'm going to make damn sure I do as much living as I possibly can. I'm not going down without a fight. And wherever that goddamn goal line is, I swear, I'll beat everyone to it. I see there's still live stuff. I'm going to do 2 short poems and we'll be done. I'm done with this. I'm so hoarse. This one is from the show, The Other Side. This is Venture to the Unknown. I've always loved the idea of being in outer space. So when my chance came to be a part of a crew, to explore a foreign land, to do what no man has done before, I jumped at the chance. People ask me what it's like to be in space, see a new planet. It's hard to explain all of the details. There are so many you forget. Like when you see the sun in the sky, you even see Earth in the distance. It is still dark where you are. The Earth's atmosphere makes the sun's light omnidirectional, but here the sky is black too, even during daylight. Without the Earth's atmosphere, the stars are always out. There are so many stars in the sky, so many asteroids. You can see the dust in the air. The Earth's atmosphere is an insulation that stops us from seeing all in the universe. They create gravity in parts of the space station to help people acclimate themselves. But in some stations, you have always to hold on to equipment because without it, you'd float away. And when we do go for mission walks, every step disturbs the land. Dust and dirt explodes with every motion. It's a fragile, delicate balance we try to strike when we venture out into the unknown. One more humorous one. I think of Kathleen with this one. This one was from the Side A, Side B show in Chicago. It's called I'm Thinking About Myself Too Much. All my life, it has always been all about you. What do you need? What do you want? How can I help you? What can I do for you? And now, for once, I start to live. And now you tell me that I'm thinking about myself too much. And I think back to all the time I've spent with you and all the care I've given you, and now you tell me that I'm thinking about myself too much. And I've cooked for you, and I've cleaned for you, and I've made sure everything in your world made sense. And now you tell me that I'm thinking about myself too much. And all I can think is that you're only angry because I'm thinking about me at all. Poetry Bound 2018. I love you all. Love you, love you, love you. This has been the best. You're the best. Thank you. The wind. It's the wind. Oh God, the wind. If I only had a brain.